Hey guys, Staplegun here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another Staple Speak. Now, in this episode, I want us to speak about certain rules in football that I personally don't like and would like to see changed. Now, these changes can include either changing the rules of the rule itself, or just a complete deletion. Now, I have two deletions and one change, and I have a few views, and almost all of these are supported by real world examples. So anyway, let's get straight into the changes. So the first rule I want saying change or deleted rather is the away goal rule. Now the away goal rule states that in a case of a two-legged final, after the second leg's 90 minutes, if the game is still drawn, then the team with the most goals at the away leg wins. Now I already see a flaw over here. It completely ruins comebacks. Now I know what you're gonna say. Didn't Spurs come back to win with the away goal rule? Well, they did, and that's the exact reason why. Ajax score in the first half of the match, yet they still lose just because of the fact that they conceded three away goals. It doesn't settle with me right. It's just that away atmospheres have become so dead in the recent game that it's basically become useless of the away game has literally become a home game because most of the time coaches make sure that these players are prepared for the away game. So therefore, for me, the away goal rule currently in today's world doesn't sit well with me, and I think it needs deletion. So now this rule, apparently it's called financial fair play, but for me it doesn't seem fair. This is the exact same rule that cost Man City their spot in the Champions League for the next two seasons if they decide not to contest it. Probably they will, and they'll probably go on to the next year's Champions League. But I want a deletion of this rule for the simple reason. I'll give you an example. So suppose in this case, let's take a small club. Let's say a club like Watford gets fully taken over. Suppose some sheikh comes and invests in Watford and tries to turn them into a team that can compete in Europe and become like one of the biggest teams in the world. It's not going to happen because you can only invest as much as you can only use the money, I should say, which you make. Now you can't really do this means it completely stops investment. You know what would be a better rule? You know what would make financial fair play? You know what would make the game actually fair for everyone? If they put like a transfer cap. Suppose they say you can only spend this amount of money. It can be still an insane amount. Like suppose in this market it'll be probably 250 million. 250 million would be a good transfer cap. And in that transfer cap, they can put all of their money and they can spend that money on transfers rather than only having to spend what they can make, which is a really bad rule because these small clubs, if they get taken over, they can't invest money and the club will stay small. And for me, this is another main reason why financial fair play needs to go. Now, this is the big one. I'm pretty sure everyone expected it. I'm obviously going to talk about VAR. Personally, currently, I am pro VAR. I'm pro VAR. I support it. Sure, it has some rounded edges, but I support it because for the main reason, it would have given us those four penalties we deserved against Barcelona in that semi-final of the Champions League. Now, there are some changes, however, I want to recommend. Keep VAR, definitely, but change some things about it. For one, why does it take so long? It takes like around 5 minutes for a VAR decision. 5 minutes of a 90-minute match. That is insane. Suppose in stoppage time there's another VAR thing. That's another 5 minutes gone. That adds towards the stoppage time. It makes no sense for it being so long. Second thing, shouldn't the referee have the last decision on the topic. What they're using those VAR benches for, it should be that the referee should be able to go up there, he should be able to see the footage and be like, right, I see this, so therefore I think this should be the decision. That is perfect. That is a perfect conversation from Matt Doherty to, I think it was Martin Atkinson, during a game where Doherty, they obviously had a decision against them, Wolves, and he says, "Oh, how did you make that decision, ref?" And Martin Atkinson just said, "Oh, I don't know. I just heard it from my earpiece." Like that shouldn't be the case, should it? VAR is supposed to be to give a better perspective. And third thing, keep the fans in the loop. The fans should know what is happening down on the pitch, and they should be kept in the loop, and it should be kept interesting. So what I recommend is to use it like how cricket uses the DRS method and how tennis challenges work, that they can only get a certain amount of challenges. Suppose for me at least it should be one per half. There can be an analyst on each side. They can see the footage that is there with them, and then they can be like, okay, right, I see something dodgy over here, I think we should challenge that. And then that's how they make the game interesting, because then the fans are like, oh, there's a challenge, that's another good thing, it's gonna keep the game interesting, maybe there's still some hope. So I think these are some categoric changes that need to be made to VAR to make it a lot more efficient. But anyway, after this short video, let's get into the outro. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked it, please like, share and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, I hope you liked the short episode of Staple Speaks, and Staple Week is still going to power through. There's still a few more days in it, and we may be able to cram a few important episodes. But anyway, until the next time, which is tomorrow, peace.